Hello everyone, I'm Xiao.
We come from XiaoZhou, China, and today I will show you the best practice to run Zuul on Kubernetes. So let's begin. And before we're talking about Zuul, I think we should talking about the CI/CD. As we know, CI/CD is a continuous integration and a continuous deployment. And I think CI/CD means no fight between develop team and ops team and QA team. Yeah. In our company, we call CI/CD suit move. Suit move means the suit and move. This is our suit move logger STM. And then how to make it, how to achieve the CI/CD goal. There are several toys to achieve that goal. First, Jenkins is an old brand CI/CD toys that written on Java, and it provides users pipeline to plan their jobs. Spinnaker is a cloud-native CI/CD platform. It can connect to Kubernetes or other cloud-native application easily. And if you like, you can choose GitHub itself. It provides some small toys to achieve your CI/CD goal. And why we choose Zuul as our CI/CD platform here? First, Zuul is based on Ansible. It provides high scalability, and you can just write your Ansible playbox to plan your jobs. Yeah. And it's tested by OpenStack community and supported by OpenStack virtual machine by default. It is stable and yeah. The final reason is that Zuul supports multi-tenant and multi-cloud. But it's not only for cloud-native application, but also for every application. Yeah. If you run your application not in cloud, it also supports. So let's see the Zuul's architecture first. This is Zuul's architecture. There are 4 main components in Zuul. There are Zuul scheduler, Zuul merger, Zuul executor, and Zuul whip. And another important process may be the node pull. Once a patch pushed to Garrett, it will track, the Zuul scheduler will be triggered, and it will choose a suitable node from the node pool via Zuulkeeper. And it also will send message to Zuul merger and Zuul executor via the Gearman. The Gearman is a message server. As we know, the RabbitMQ, QPID are also like this. And once the Zuul merger receives the message from the Zuul scheduler, it will clone the project and try to pick your latest patch. Yeah. And the Zuul scheduler will, and the Zuul executor will run Ansible playbooks on the node. And the result will be collected by Finger services, and users can also check their result by the Zuul web services. Yeah, this is, as we know, Zuul's architecture. And I would think, can we make Zuul more flexible? Yeah. This slide shows the Zuul runs on OpenStack virtual machine cluster. There are 2 zones in my case, and one is called Zone 1, and another is called Zone 2. And you can define what jobs runs on what zone in your project configure YAML, and node pool and the Zuul executor will do some jobs on the node via the floating IP or internal IP. Yeah, executor can access the virtual machine via floating IP or internal IP. The floating IP or internal IP provided by the OpenStack Neutron. Okay. Can we thinking about the Kubernetes? As we know, in this picture, node pool will launch the virtual machine up to limit, and the ready virtual machine will prepare for job running. Yeah, and the situation is that if if I push push many patches at the same time, the job will be queried, and the result may be slowly. And think about Kubernetes. One reason is that more and more microservices run on Kubernetes, include OpenStack itself. So Zuul jobs should support running on Kubernetes to ensure that the environment between product environment and develop environment to unify them. And the second reason is starting a pod costs less than starting a virtual machine, as we know. And Kubernetes has its own self-recovery mechanism that will help Zuul to achieve high variability and load balance and rolling upgrade. So what's the gap from running jobs on the virtual machine to run jobs on Kubernetes? And the first is how node pool can connect you to Kubernetes and control pod lifecycle. The second is how Zuul executor connect to Kubernetes and run jobs on the pod. And how to deploy Zuul on Kubernetes. This shows what we do. This slide shows Zuul run jobs on Kubernetes. Compared to the slide before, we change zone 2 to Kubernetes cluster, and the Zuul scheduler will also execute jobs on OpenStack virtual machine and Kubernetes cluster. As we know, connect to OpenStack virtual machine maybe easily can be by the SSH, and connect to Kubernetes pod maybe hardly. First, I found 2 ways to connect to Kubernetes pods. One is that Ansible provides kube control connection, and the Zuul executor can access Kubernetes pods by kube control. This is the default way what the Zuul community use. So another way is handle a pod as a virtual machine. We strongly recommend the first way. So because handle a pod as a virtual machine may be difficult. You should to deal with your network environment and the new string and the Frana and another network problem. Maybe to block your jobs. So use kube control connection maybe easily. It is provided by Ansible itself. Yeah. And next, we see how node pool controls pod lifecycle. This slide shows the details. The node pool connect to Kubernetes server and create namespace and pods. Node pool Kubernetes driver. Node pool has a Kubernetes driver in its code. Yeah. Node pool Kubernetes driver use Python Kubernetes SDK to interact with Kubernetes. And node pool will launch pods namespace, and each pod monomize one namespace. Yeah. Just like a slide. One namespace always has one pod. And node pool will create several of Kubernetes resources like service account, role binding for each namespace. This is, I think, why one pod should in one namespace. And Zuul will get those satisfaction information and user token that created by node pool before, and create a Kubernetes config file in user's job directory for Ansible kube control connector to use. So Ansible can use this config file to connect your Kubernetes cluster and run jobs on it. And finally, node pool will delete all resources in a point namespace, and the namespace itself also will be deleted when job finished. This is a whole life cycle how node pool controls. Yeah. And some details you should care. This is what we care that in our practice. We are using Zuul version 3.7. Earlier version may not support this feature well. And make sure your Ansible version is 2.5 or later, because the early version may not support kube control connector. So you can connect to the Kubernetes cluster by kube control. However, the upstream Zuul will automatically install Ansible latest version, so you don't care about it if you use the latest version. And some playbox option may not support by kube control connection right now, like signature or remote on achieve. You may need to change them to CP or kube's control shell option. Yeah. And finally, what next? This slide shows how Zuul container itself. We just put the Zuul in Kubernetes and the container itself. We put the latest Zuul image to the image registry, and we also put the latest Zuul charts written by us to our Helm charts repo. And we use Helm upgrade or Helm install to upgrade or install our Zuul cluster. Yeah. And we put 4 containers in one Zuul pod. The reason is that we should share our project key, secret key to Zuul scheduler and Zuul executor. Due to the Zuul is a stateless services, so you can also split the Zuul as 4 pods. It's a recommended way. Yeah. In our case, I couldn't do it. And the user can use the ingress to explore Kubernetes ingress services to visit the Zuul web via the Zuul browser, and the ingress will expose the Zuul web to user to visit. And this is the demo.
Okay, thanks. Yes, hello everyone. I'm XiaoZhou, an EasyStart cloud engineer. And next, I will show how Zuul and node pool work in the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, as we can see, this is a single node Kubernetes cluster, and I have deployed the node pool and Zuul in this cluster. We can use kubectl command to show those ports like that. Okay, we can see there are 4 ports in the DOPS namespace. There are Zuul, node pool, Zookeeper, and MariaDB. Yes. And next, I will explain how I install those services in the Kubernetes, and I package those services as chats. And I then use Helm to install it. Helm is a Kubernetes packaging manager. And we can use Helm ls command to show, like that. So the details is in the terminal, and we can see there are 4. Like Zuul, Zookeeper, node pool, MariaDB, deployed in the DOPS namespace. Yes. Okay. Next I will show the chats. I will show the chats. In this case, I will show the notebook chats like that. So we use tree command. So as we can see from the terminal, there are many files in this direct, and there are many files also in the temporals directors, and these files defines Kubernetes resources like a config map and notebook deployment and PV, RBAC, and service account. And we also change our values in the values.yum file. We can see this file. Yes, there are many images. This images is for notebook, and there also it has a KBS CI pod. This image is for testing job.
Yeah.
And we choose the notebook driver is Kubernetes. So next we can use helm install name notebook. This command to install notebook. Yes. And next, as we all know, notebook launch many nodes that is used to run jobs, and in Kubernetes cluster, notebook also run and launch some ready pods for testing. We can also use the kube control command to see this ready pods.
CI?
Yes, as we can see, there are many running pods and ready pods, and each pod's municipality is one space. And we also enter the notebook pod and use the notebook list to see those pods like that. So, yes, this is the results. This is 3 ready pods. This is used for testing job. Okay. Okay, finally I will tell a complete story about how Zuul and notebook work in Kubernetes cluster when I push a patch. Yes, okay. Let's enter Gerrit dashboard. As we can see, this is a test domain patch in this, and I will recheck it. And it will run paper 8 and commit message job. What is spelling check and commit message check? Whether it is satisfied our rules, and commit message job is a costume-defined job that whatever we want to make rules, like tracking Jira expert, and whatever we want, and then we can see rule whip. Yes, it is running paper 8 and committing message job. And wait a minute, we can see the results.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for Xiao. And there are many options in the Zuul web. You can see the status and project. Let's see the notes. Yeah. In this notes page, we can see the pod CI pods, what is used for the job we run. And the job page and the status page, we can click through the demo project to see 2 jobs is running. This is our 2 test jobs. One is a commit message check, and one is a pipe 8 check. And commit message check is our customer job to check our commit message spanning and connect to and link some bug to Etherpad or bug launch or Jira. Yeah. In the nodes page, we can see two nodes in use status. There are also providers, also the Kubernetes, and the connection is kubectl. It is as what I say. I use the kubectl to connect to the nodes. The connection is the Ansible connection. Yeah. And when those pods has been used, their status will be deleted, and the namespace and node pool namespace also, and the pod CS namespace and pod CI itself also be deleted. Okay. Let's wait a minute. You can also click to check the details. Yeah. And we just run before we show the demo. Has a fairly result because we see the demo test.demo.py, and its file has a pipe 8 error, and it will show the error. So any questions here? Yeah. Okay.
Can you speak to the performance of running a Zuul in this type of scenario?
The performance, right? The performance to run in the Zuul, my test environment is one node Kubernetes cluster, so it may be slowly. So if we use the 3 nodes or 4 nodes cluster, it may be faster. But each job's performance will not change from the virtual machine or Kubernetes cluster. Yeah.
My concern would be the Zuul mergers in particular and Zookeeper are both very IO intensive.
Yeah.
If you're trying to run a lot of jobs through Zuul, I'm concerned how well it's going to work.
Yeah. I think that starting a pod will cost less and maybe faster. We test by the virtual machine and pod CI. Pod CI maybe more faster than virtual machine, and it's faster a lot. The pod CI we use the pod CI when we push the patches not be queried. Every patch is in and every patch is wrong. Okay.
The Helm charts, are those created by you or are those?
Created by us. Yeah. We designed to share this to the community, and we will share it. We test it in large nodes of Kubernetes, and we will share it to the community, to our chats. Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Just quick clarification, was Zuul running in a pod in this, or that's something that you will be developing? I wasn't 100% sure.
Sorry?
He's wondering if his demo was
Yeah.
like in Kubernetes.
Yeah, now the job has finished, and we can check the results in the Zuul Dashboard. You see it does it one to the comments, and you can see the failure job. Yeah. That's all. Thank you.